Hi everybody, this is Topher Scott with Prodigy Hockey, and I'm here to tell you about a fun new project we're doing called Book Reviews. In book reviews, I've gone and read some of the most successful players and coaches in the sports world, and I'm going to share with you my 3 big takeaways from each of these books. Hopefully you can learn something, as I know I have. And my first book that I've gone to review is called Patriot Reign by Michael Holley, about the New England Patriots and Bill Belichick. In Patriot Reign, Michael Holley gains unprecedented access into the fortress that is the New England Patriots through the 2001, 2002, and 2003 seasons. In 2001, the team won their first Super Bowl, followed by the 2002 season where they didn't even make the playoffs, followed by the 2003 season when they won the Super Bowl again. Michael Holley takes you inside the scenes of Bill Belichick and his coaching room, along with the ways that they built and were able to maintain the dynasty that is the New England Patriots today. One of the first things that I found extremely interesting about Bill Belichick while reading this book was his intense appreciation for preparation on 2 different accounts. One was on game day, and 2 was in player selection. Their preparation for game day is rivaled by nobody. They were able to take all this data from pouring through hours and hours and hours of video and present it to their players in a simple way so they were able to play the way that they wanted to play, but also take advantage of any weakness that the opponent was going to have in the game. They could probably tell you on second and long, on a Monday or a Sunday, from the left or right hash in wet or dry conditions, whether or not a team was going to run X play or Y play. They poured through hours and hours and hours of video, like I said, to make sure that they knew exactly what the opponent was going to do. But instead of burdening their players with all this information, they were able to simplify it, give them succinct things that the other team was going to do, and allow the players to play mind-free and go after it and compete to get the best out of their ability. It was amazing. I was also blown away by the intense appreciation and preparation that Bill Belichick and his staff had for player selection. When it came to selecting players, there was nothing else that was more important than that. Whether it was drafting of players or the signing of free agents, they really did their research to try and find out specific players that their skill set can fit their system, but also their character can fit their culture. They were no ego. They were no BS. The New England Patriots were the New England Patriots, and you either fit into their system or you didn't. Now, one of the best stories that I read during this was regarding Tom Brady, who obviously is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time that the New England Patriots picked late in the draft. Now, instead of patting themselves on the back and saying, wow, we really found a diamond in the rough, what they did was they asked the question, well, why didn't we take one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time in the first round? That should have been an easy thing to do. So what they did is they went back to every single position and they made a person who is the kind of person and who is the kind of player that will fit into our system and fit into their culture at each position. And it was amazing to see that when they drew up that perfect player for the quarterback position, they basically said Tom Brady. Everything that he had fit into what they wanted and into a quarterback. Their preparation is second to none when it comes to player selection, and it's embedded by the leadership that they have throughout all the organization, from the owner to the GM to the head coach to the quarterback, all the way on down to their role players. The player selection is the reason why the New England Patriots are the New England Patriots. My second big takeaway from this book is Bill Belichick is always trying to find ways to do things better. He surrounds himself with the best people. He loves confrontation. He loves debate. And he's always trying to be on the cutting edge of doing things better. Now, in the recent past, this has kind of gotten him into trouble with things like Deflategate and Spygate and things like that. But he's always trying to push the needle forward. He's always challenging the status quo. He's always challenging to look for new ways to find doing things better. Bill Belichick calls it self-scouting. There's no BS to it. He hires people to come in and look at what they're doing to try and find ways to improve, to try and find ways to get more out of people, and try to find ways to streamline their systems so that what they're doing is the best for the organization. One of the biggest things that I learned from this book is Bill Belichick does not like yes men. He despises yes men. If you are in a meeting with him and you don't challenge him, if you don't question things that he is doing, he will fire you straight out. If you're a person that challenges, if you're a person that pushes the envelope, if you're a person that's always questioning how we do things and always looking for things to do better, you will be on his good side, and he will love you as a person and as a part of his staff. And finally, my last big takeaway coming out of this book is the do your job mentality that Bill Belichick has for his team. It runs all the way from the front office staff to the coaches to the team. Everybody on the team, everybody in the staff has a specific role. It's clear, it's concise, and there's certain expectations for your job and for your role. And finally, with that role, every single person within the team knows how important that role is to the success of the group. From the offensive lineman to the quarterback, from the defensive lineman to the linebackers, from the scouting staff to the general manager, everybody knows that their role is extremely important when it comes to the success of the team. Bill Belichick was an offensive lineman growing up. He knows that if it wasn't for the in the trenches work from the offensive linemen, quarterbacks wouldn't be what they are today. So he makes a point all the time to praise and to give thanks to a lot of the people that do the dirty work and don't necessarily get the recognition. Everybody on the team has a job to do, and their focus should solely be on what their job is. They don't have to worry about what everybody else is doing. His big thing is giving people a role, giving a clear and concise expectation for what that role is, and making sure that those people know how important their role is to their team. With that, the team camaraderie, the simplicity where everybody knows what they're doing, those are things that are very important to the Patriots, and those are reasons why they are the way that they are, and a reason why everybody seems to succeed with their role and succeed within the organization once they get to the Patriots. So thank you for taking the time to listen to my 3 big takeaways about Patriot Reign, Michael Holley's book about the 2001 through 2003 New England Patriots and their Hall of Fame head coach, Bill Belichick. We look forward to bringing you another book review soon, and until then, we'll see you later.